let me introduce you to our listeners and then we'll jump right in. So, Michelle Bishop is a certified professional life coach, author of Choose You First, and resilience expert who helps women break free from limiting beliefs to live authentically and powerfully. Drawing from her journey through childhood trauma, surviving breast cancer, COVID-19, and the loss of her husband, Michelle teaches women how to transform adversity into strength through her unique silent warrior approach. As a successful businesswoman who built multiple careers from scratch, she combines practice, business acumen with deep emotional intelligence to guide others in choosing themselves first without guilt. This is a message we're going to see over and over as we talk today. And as I've read your book, Choose You First, this is something that speaks powerfully to women everywhere and is so personal to the journey that you've been through. And before we get into your book and all of that good stuff, I would like to just hear a little bit of background. And where I'd like to start is your connection to Peaceful Profits. So, how did you first come across Peaceful Profits?
Well, I had made a determination that there was a calling for me to reach out and touch other people's lives to make a impact. Everybody talks about legacies and, what do you want your legacy to be? Well, I wanted to make sure that I was fulfilling what I would consider a calling to helping others. In that journey, I had originally looked at, of course, now you hear all about artificial intelligence. And I recognize that I myself literally I'm not a writer. I have a story, I have a message, but I wanted to put it out there for the world to be able to read and learn. That being said, after going through the AI journey, I was like, what is this? There was like no human like resilient, it didn't resemble me in any shape or form. And even though I gave the information to this tool, it really did not put out a product that I knew was authentic. And then I got the opportunity to be introduced to Peaceful Profits. And I loved the immediate connection and the purpose within taking and interviewing whether or not it was a right connect for me, for them, and in authoring my book and writing my book and telling my story and all the wonderful things I've learned over the past. So it gave me basically an extension to accomplish what my vision was. And I'm very grateful.
Oh, that's so interesting. I want to learn more about the AI process that you went through because I think that a lot of people are tempted by that at this point. We hear all this about AI and it's so exciting and it can do everything. So, what do you think was missing in that just didn't make it feel like the book you wanted to have?
I know exactly what was missing: the human element of authenticity.
Hmm.
And there's nothing in this world that can create that except one own individual, because we're all individuals on this earth.
Yeah. Okay, that's so interesting. And I think that your book just has so much of you in it. It has so much heart in it. It's very real, it's very authentic. And I can see how without that piece in there, you would just miss the mark so much.
Uh,
It wouldn't connect on that human level.
well, and really, is that what we want? Is somebody to give us essentially like a Webster dictionary of what the definition is for something
Right.
without any human contact, no authenticity, nothing of heart? I'm like, I don't see that as being the ideal learning environment for us to grow as humans.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so AI didn't work out, not what you were going for. So, backing up a step, what was going on in your world that even led you? You mentioned legacy. What led you to seek our publishing services?
Once again, recognizing my own limitations,
Hmm.
uh, being able to express my my work, my vision, my story to others, uh, I knew I needed not just a publishing arm, but truly a partner in my vision and journey to helping others. And uh, I hate to use the analogy. Sometimes you've got to kiss some frogs to get to the prince, but I was willing to really do the research needed to do that, and it was through a number of not trial and errors, but interviewing to make that
Mm.
determination that there was a connect there,
Yeah.
and 100%. I had no reservations once I had met the organization within Peaceful Profits and how the follow through was consistently all the way what they promised and more. And when there was a little bit of adjustment that needed, there could be that adjustment so that it put out the best product for the reader to be able to understand and also complete the vision at hand.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. So what were some of your goals in coming here? Or another way to ask it is why was a book just more important to your bigger mission of what you have in mind for your future, for your business, for getting this message out into the world?
I really consider this book, Choose Me First, is basically that coal of the basis for me for the rest of my journey with the world. It literally is that hot stone that will allow me to then take all these pieces of life lessons and expand upon that even greater because I recognize that not everybody has the same life journey. And so there's so many different pieces and parts of the story that I get to expand on, like breast cancer and the survival of that and what that means emotionally, and different things like even when you lose a spouse and what's that like to be, unexpectedly or expectedly, because everybody's grieving is different. And so it allows me to leave a legacy but without having a foundation and that hot stone at the beginning, it really is difficult to me to be able to explore all my life and just a meeting through coaching journeys, that kind of thing. It's got to be more centralized. And this gives a good overview.
Okay. I think that's really a powerful way to put it, and that it can be just the beginning of a journey with you. That this is where people can come in, an entry point into your world and understanding and to bridging that gap between their story and your own that you share on these pages.
And I love to
So,
say your world, but really it's a community. That's what I want. It's not
yeah,
my world. Just like I say,
true.
your best you. It's because everybody has their own best and what they want for themselves. And I really want that.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, I would love for you to walk us through your experience of working with Peaceful Profits. Tell us some of the key moments and just what the process itself was like.
Initially, after I had learned about Peaceful Profits, I had an interview with one of the, I guess, uh, I don't know, like screening, I would say screening to see whether or not the match was a good match or not. And that went well for both of us. And we decided to make the next step. And I went for Peaceful Profits, recognizing I needed all the help I could get. I'm only one person. So I went ahead and wanted to have somebody hold hold my hand through the journey. And she was able to match me up with an incredible ghostwriter. And it was it's like a lifelong friend that I know that I will have forever. And she really got me. And even when we had made some adjustments or something was out of like sync, the recovery process was so easy. Like it was like, oh, this is what's going on, and I'm not really connected here, and such an open, loving relationship. And you use the words peaceful profits. There's nothing peaceful really, when you think about what you're doing, you're really in any book, whether or not it's a children's book or a inspirational book or even a directional book, you know, there's a lot of moving parts to it. And
Yeah.
so I feel, which you say, yeah, I didn't realize how many there are. But I am so grateful all the time for Peaceful Profits, because if there's a landmine or something that we need to take care of, or even if it's just the next step, oh, what is that process? You have to have a process, because if you don't have a process, then you don't move. And so Peaceful Profits has allowed me to do that. And I'm very grateful.
You bring up an interesting point. I think so often going into a book, so many people want to write a book and they don't realize the part you just said, that there are so many moving pieces. There are so many things to figure out. There are so many adjustments that need to be made along the way. And it is a lot to go from idea to actual completed book. And I love also this connection that you mentioned with, your ghostwriter, that you have this, and it really becomes this collaborative effort where you are providing, it's your book, you're providing all the content, you are doing all the thought and the effort, and the ghostwriter is arranging. That's kind of what I think of as I do ghostwriting, arranging the words on the page, but it's still this collaboration where it goes back and forth to you, and is this what you wanted, and is this going to work? And eventually it comes out to be this wonderful and beautiful book that's better, I feel, than either person could have come up with on their own, because it's just this synergy that happens when you work together.
You use the word synergy. I think that's an excellent word. It is a synergy. And the way that you're communicating continually through that process. And again, uh, there is absolutely no doubt within my mind at 100% that I would never be published or even had finished or started a book without Peaceful Profits. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, as someone who shared so much so personally, I can see how that would bring up a lot of emotions in the writing process. I'm very curious how that was in the ghost writing process for you. Writing a book that's so vulnerable, how was that sharing with this person and putting that all out there?
Chanel, that is a great question. I I'll tell you, I was very, very raw during some of these processes and didn't actually realize what it would bring up. And, it was draining at some
Yeah.
point. And like you said, the collaboration with my ghostwriter, I mean, honestly, it was like I felt like when I needed a hug or if I was just getting through a moment or anything like that, she was so aligned with me. And that's it takes time. It's, it's a journey, and you have to take it step by step, and to be able to be gifted to know when to push the gas, when to come off the gas. I mean, it's a really unbelievably unique human element that you would not get normally. And I don't think that you would just get that with anyone. And so Peaceful Profits not only has allowed me the processes that are steadfast and true, but also really feeling like part of a community, like I said, and getting the vision out to people so that, it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. Wonderful. Now, your book has recently been published. It was published this month. I would love to hear some of the outcomes that you've seen, some of the feedback that you've gotten. Tell us kind of the splash that this book has made so far. And this is just the beginning.
Um, I I will tell you, I'm amazed. In the beginning, and like you said, it's been maybe, a week and a half or something like that. But uh, people that would say, like in my town, that know me really didn't know me. And now they know
Mm,
me. And it's so it's so liberating. And I really, really love that even people that don't know me, and the feedback is that their appreciation of the vulnerability, the honesty, you know, the ability to really shine a light of hope even in their situation. It fills my heart. It definitely makes me so more even motivated to get out there and share the messaging so that everyone can be have just a small little pivot of positive change is a beautiful thing.
yeah.
It's been
Yes. Wonderful. And that is the true, you can all listeners can see that Michelle is leading with her heart because she is speaking of the human connection that she's gotten from this book. I also happen to know that you hit #1 in your category on Amazon, right?
I that's what I understand. I'm pretty excited.
Yes. Congratulations. That's huge. That's so exciting to have this new book come out to already start to see this success and this momentum. How does that feel?
Oh my gosh. I'm just like so happy. But you know what? I began happy and whole. And
Yeah.
it's really interesting because I am a widow, but even in that, it was the first time that I recognized being vulnerable to others and being true and authentic within your heart really makes an impact. And so, as much as it means to me, it really means so much more that it's going to others and that we can really make a difference. And that's what I'm talking about in that legacy of
Yeah.
knowing that everybody can make really small movements and be peaceful and make a positive change. Don't have to be a victim. You can
Yes.
be victorious.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm excited for you to continue to share this message, to continue to get the book out.